Hi everyone, me again. One of the questions we get asked all the time is why I'm having a 20% bounce rate on my data when you bought it from me, and I'm telling you that the data is amazing. So I thought we'd do a video for you just to prove why this is happening and to give you a better explanation as to why I and my staff can give you. So I've got Adam here from Force24, who is the platform that we use, and some of you may be using our email platform. It's Force24 on the back end. Now, Force24 are massively leading the sort of corporate marketing, email marketing. They're up against the likes of MailChimps. They like the MailChimps, they love what they're doing. And it's not they're doing anything bad, it's just I need you guys to understand why you might see, why I get a 97% delivery rate on the same email addresses that I sell to you, but you get a 75 to 80% delivery rate. It's causing a lot of problems, and we need to get to the bottom of it. And this isn't a sale. Obviously, I do want you guys to come across to our platforms, but this isn't about that. This is about you understanding and me understanding exactly what goes on. So, Adam, question to you. Why does someone who buys my email addresses that we know that you've bounced for us, Adam will put our email addresses through a bounce facility and actually strip out anything, and we even strip out soft bounces. So when you buy our data, there shouldn't be anything in there. Yeah, obviously a day goes past, a week goes past, things will drop out, but minuscule amounts. Yeah. So why, you gave me, last time I saw you, you sort of fed me it, and I was like, wow, why does this happen?
Okay, so there's a number of different reasons. Unfortunately, it isn't as black and white as the user is not there, therefore I'll bounce it. It doesn't work like that. There's around about 500 or 600 different bounce codes that the mail servers interpret as being the reason as to why that email's bounced. Then that's put back to the user in one of three categories usually. It's a complaint, it's a hard bounce, or it's a soft bounce. Now, if you actually have a look at it and were to look at what they call the MTA responses, and that's where we can see physically what the bounce reason was, quite often you see it's down to credibility. Now, when we're sending out an email these days, it's imperative that we've instigated all the necessary digital signatures needed to get an email through the door. So, for example, Microsoft use an accreditation scheme called SNDS. Google use an accreditation scheme called DMARC. A lot of the others use an accreditation scheme called DKIM, or domain keys. And that's essentially where we sign every single email with a signature that can be verified on your domain name. Now, so when I send through, perhaps MailChimp, and I haven't gone through the necessary accreditations on the domain, or I've only done one, or SPF, or the basic, whatever it may be, I've only done one of them. So when I send an email then to Google, and I've just got SPF, I can expect to see that Google will take my mail and treat it with caution and potentially start to implement delivery delays. And a delivery delay is where we send 100 emails into the mail server, the Google mail server, for example. Google says, right, well, you don't have the correct accreditations. The content looks good, the words aren't spammy, everything looks good. But what I'll do is I'll just deliver 10, and I'm going to see whether people open, click, unsubscribe, whatever it is. And if they start to unsubscribe or they don't open, what I'll do is I'll start passing back as permanent delays, or for whatever reason I'm not going to deliver them because I don't believe it meets our spam quality score. And in which case they can come back as a bounce. So the first things.
And what reasoning would they give you for that bounce? So going to the guys watching this, when you're talking about the signature.
Yes.
So when you're talking about you're sending an email, you're talking about Jack, who's bought my data, sending an email. He's not going to put a signature on there. Is this something that happens at the?
It happens at the platform
so
level.
In layman terms, what's that process that we never going to see, never probably understand, but it's affecting our marketing?
So if I'm using MailChimp, I need to know about this stuff because they don't do it for you. You have to implement it on your domain name, in the DNS settings of your domain name.
So MIB Data Solutions, .co.uk, as a domain name.
Yes.
I need to do something in my back end.
Yes. Now, I think in the basic terms, MailChimp will offer SPF and domain keys, which are two forms of generic digital signatures, which they'll then, every time an email goes out from MailChimp, they'll say, it's signed and verified here, check with the domain name here, and the mail servers check it and everything checks out.
So are these like tick boxes?
Yeah,
On the back end?
Kind of, yeah. It's not easy.
Can I do it?
You can. Do you know you've got to do it is the question.
No, I don't think anyone does. So that's what's happening. So does this affect my emails sometimes falling into spam?
Yes.
I can send you an email and say, Nick, I didn't get it, and it's in your spam box.
Correct.
So like recently we moved over from 123 registered as a domain holder because it was they weren't doing very well on the server when, I don't know, blacklist or something.
Yeah.
So we moved to Google Mail,
had
someone set it up for us.
Yeah.
But I'll still find I'm falling into people's spam, even as a personal email.
Yeah, okay. Again, the same applies whether it's commercial outbound emails from your computer or commercial outbound mail from MailChimp. Emails should be signed with all the necessary accreditations. And again, you don't necessarily, not many people tell you that this is what you've got to do, but Google themselves insist on what's called DMARC.
So the guys who set this up, they would have gone through that process by setting up your email up?
In theory, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Jack has bought some data from me, he's gone on to MailChimp.
Yeah.
Unless he's done that with his domain name, because they're using his, let's say he put in MIB Data Solutions as his domain name, they're then sending it on behalf of that as they're picking up the IP from where he's sending it from.
No, what they're doing is they're assigning one of their IPs from their mail IP pool, and they're then taking the domain and they're sticking it on there. And what the mail servers are doing is saying, is that domain name allowed to send emails from that IP address? And they check the DNS settings for this signature. And if it's not set up, it says, no, it's not allowed, because that was how old-fashioned spamming was done. It would be, I'm the HSBC bank, not really the HSBC
So what's
bank.
happening is we've got a $1 billion company called MailChimp, all the likes of their competitors.
Yeah.
Jack, Mr. Joe Blogs, whoever, who's just seen the send 2,000 emails for free, using our system, easy to use setup.
Yeah.
They're doing this, buying legitimate data, sending it out, but then it's going wrong.
Yeah, and
that's why it is.
Down to how they configure that. And it's their job, not MailChimp's job.
So how do they do it? Is it an easy thing? Do they need to get an IT technician?
Yeah, you need to speak to somebody. You need to either read the guidance on whichever mail platform that you're on, or speak to the account manager. Platforms like our own, we manage this process for you. Every client comes through the doors, you automatically get this configuration, because it's, for people like us, it's not worth you not having it.
So that's why when I send my data through you for our own uses, we get 98% delivery.
Correct.
I could send the same data to these guys, and it goes wrong.
Because the digital signatures are not in place.
So it's actually really simple.
Yeah.
It just needs someone to actually fix it at the back.
Well, you've got the technical checks. Once you've got the technical checks in place, you still have to make sure what you're sending is relevant to the recipient.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're sending out bad stuff, don't expect to continue to. If you're sending out bad stuff, you can start to see bounces.
What do you mean bad stuff?
So, for example, we'll put it in the worst case. The old Viagra emails come.
They'll pick up on all these words.
So the content, for example, if I'm sending out poor content, I'm not just limiting it to Viagra, but for example, if I've not followed the process and not looked, and I've used excessive capitalization,
certain keywords,
of course, that kind of thing. And then the other thing is my credibility. If I send one email, never sent one before, sent it just today, one email, versus a sender who every week sends at this time and gets the same open rate, the same click-through rate, or whatever it is, the mail server can build a prediction to say,
they recognise it.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. Whereas that one-off hit is, okay, you got to do it the first time, second time, but you have to build consistency with that data.
Which is why you do something called throttling.
Yes. Yeah.
And so whenever I give you any new set of data,
we throttle it.
You throttle it, and do you want to explain to the guys what you mean by throttling?
So throttling is the process of, let's say we take 1,000 email addresses and we send them out into the internet for delivery. It will land in one of 3 or 4 mail servers: Gmail or Google, Microsoft, BT. There's only a few really. So essentially, out of that 1,000, 300 will land in Google's network, 300 will land in Microsoft's network. So what we do is we throttle them to go much slower. So we're sending out perhaps 10 every 5 minutes. That's 50 60 an hour, which is so small, it just arrives at the network, gets delivered because it's such a small volume.
No one gets scared.
Nobody
so
gets scared.
It's kind of like if the server had a brain.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it probably has, but it sees it come in and go, "Whoa, what's this?"
Yeah.
Someone's trying to send it. I don't know who this domain is.
Yeah.
They haven't got these things accredited, and now they're trying to send 1,000, 10,000 in records all in one go.
All in one go.
I'm holding this stuff back.
Because the objective of MailChimp is to get it out of their network as quickly as possible. Not just MailChimp, but anybody, to get it out of their network as quickly as possible. Therefore, it's not consuming space within their environment. So they want to get it out quick, and their infrastructure is built to deliver quickly.
Unfortunately, that's the downside.
That's counterintuitive.
Yeah.
So what will then happen is the what's called the MTA, the mail transfer agent on MailChimp's side, will receive all of this email and will try and send it out. And Google will start blocking and saying, no, I'm not receiving, not allowing anymore. And then there'll be a retry attempt every 10 minutes for the next 48 hours or so. The problem with that is networks get quiet and start to accept the mail at midnight. So no marketeer has ever pressed send at 2 in the morning. Nobody wanted that email to arrive at 2 in the morning, but it did. That's because the mail servers are then intelligently throttling, which ours does, intelligently throttles based on the responses of the mail servers. Whereas custom throttling is where a human being says, okay, I'm going to avoid my emails being delivered at 2 in the morning, and I'm just going to send them slowly through the day, and I'm going to stop at 7 p.m, and I'm going to start again the next day, and I'm going to send gently. And that works not only from a delivery point of view, but it also in a lead escalation point of view, because the slower I send, the better I get, but also my sales team have got more of an opportunity to keep up. If I send 20,000 emails and I get 100 leads on Monday, I can't necessarily call them all until Friday.
Yeah.
So, Friday, that lead has forgotten that email even existed. Whereas if I can gently drop in warm leads throughout the course of the week, then the sales team get a better ride from it as well.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, I hope that helps, guys. If you've got any questions on it, you can either give my office a call, or you can call Force24, and Adam or any of his colleagues will help you on that. But it's essentially, we're not slagging off MailChimp or anything like that.
No.
It's just because they do provide great service, and if you haven't got the budgets in place and you're starting off in this, it's a great place to start. But when you know, I started the same way with the .mailers or whatever. I use those to make my mistakes and learn how to do it. And once someone started to buy and I was starting to get consistency of the amount of leads, then it's all just putting the volumes up. Yeah. And then you can move over to the experts because you can afford to pay the fees and the setup costs and stuff like that. But ultimately, sometimes you have to spend more to get the results that you want.
Yeah.
So guys, I hope that helps, but you know where we are if you want to call us, and we can happily discuss it with you. Thanks a lot. Cool.
Okay, just
Brilliant.
in time.